There was some type of press event yesterday for the Andre Ward-Sergey Kovalev rematch. I didn't see Andre Ward in attendance. I'm not sure if this press event is going to be stretched over a few days or whether it was just yesterday. But it only seemed to be Kovalev and his people at this press event. There was Kovalev doing a workout. John David Jackson was in attendance. So it seems at the moment that John David Jackson is still Kovalev's trainer. He was asked by several journalists about this incident where he apparently approached the Andre Ward team with a view to switching sides. He has said it's actually Ward's team who approached him and made him an offer. And he said, look, well, this is the amount of money that I would need to switch sides. So yeah, he's been talking about that. Kovalev has been talking about Andre Ward. He says he gave him too much respect in the first fight. He overestimated him. He overtrained. He sees Ward as a paper champion who got a gift decision. And he really is coming into this fight with seemingly no respect at all for Andre Ward. Far less respect than he had going into the first fight. Will that make Sergey Kovalev perform better in the second fight? Or will it actually backfire on him? I'm not sure. Because in the first fight, I do feel like Kovalev showed Ward too much respect, particularly early on. I mean, even after the knockdown, I felt like he could have pressed it a bit more. Maybe I'm underestimating Andre Ward's footwork and how evasive he can be when he's ready, but I don't know. I just got the feeling that Kovalev was a little too respectful and he should have put his foot on the gas earlier on in the fight and he could have maybe got Andre Ward out of there. So with him having the bit between his teeth for the rematch and being fired up and angry because he's been coming out in the press saying he's angry, will that mean that he can go in there and actually get the job done this time and take Andre Ward out? Or will it backfire? Will he use too much steam early in the fight and allow Andre Ward to take advantage of it? At the end of the day, Andre Ward knows exactly what Kovalev's about now in the ring. He knows the power. He knows the angles the punches are coming from. And whether or not you think Ward won the fight, you have to admit that as the fight progressed, Ward became more elusive. He became more difficult to hit. Kovalev landed the right hand in the second round. He never landed the right hand flush again for the rest of the fight. So whether you think it was a robbery or not, isn't that a problem that Andre Ward was defensively good enough to take Sergey Kovalev's right hand away? If you're a Kovalev fan, isn't that something that Kovalev should be working? Trying to find a workaround, a way to combat Andre Ward's defensive skills? Maybe he needs to go to the body more because he didn't go to the body that much in the first fight. Maybe it's not that easy to go to Andre Ward's body. Maybe he hides his body very well. Kovalev has extremely heavy hands. I've seen him hurt people and drop people with jabs to the body. So perhaps that'll be a strategy for this fight. More body work against Andre Ward. Ward is a guy who likes to go to the body, particularly on the inside. And he was actually throwing more body shots from what I remember anyway, and landing more body shots than Sergey Kovalev in the first fight. And maybe that contributed to Kovalev gassing down the stretch. And Kovalev did gas down the stretch. He says it was because of overtraining. Who knows? I guess we'll find out soon enough. Let me know what you think of the rematch. I've seen some people say they think Andre Ward has cracked Kovalev's code. And I did go back and watch the fight again recently. And Ward was doing a lot of good things in there from a defensive point of view, making it very difficult for Sergey Kovalev, more and more difficult as the fight goes on. I know, there are still people that are going to talk about robbery and all this, that, and the other. That's cool. If you think it's a robbery, if you thought Kovalev won, cool. But go back and watch the fight with the sound off. And as the fight progresses, look how difficult Andre Ward is making the fights for Sergey Kovalev. If Ward can build on what he did in the second half of the first fight, from an offensive point of view, because defensively, as I say, he was very good in the second half of the fight. But if he can build some offense on top of that and start the second fight the same way he ended the first fight, then Sergey Kovalev is going to have a lot of problems. The good thing, from Kovalev's perspective, and if you're a Kovalev fan, is that Andre Ward can't punch. I'm not saying he's a Paulie Malignaggi. He did drop Sullivan Barrera. He has dropped other guys out there. If he catches you right and he catches you by surprise, he might be able to buzz you. He might be able to even drop you. But it's unlikely that Andre Ward has got the kind of power that would seriously hurt Sergey Kovalev or force a stoppage. Unless Kovalev was seriously hurt. Unless Kovalev was seriously, tired maybe, and Ward was able to land a bunch of consecutive punches, or unless Ward was able to hit Kovalev in the sweet spot in the body and drop him off a body shot. You don't necessarily have to be the biggest puncher in the world. If you can get a guy in the floating rib, you can drop him. I mean, look at Amir Khan versus Marcos Maidana. Maidana took Khan's punches to the head all day long, no problem. But that left hook to the body in the first round had Maidana curled up on the floor like a newborn baby. So unless it's a scenario like that, I think most of us find it improbable that Andre Ward will be able to hurt Sergey Kovalev, stop him, or even come close to stopping him. So that's one of the good things Kovalev has going for him. That gives him some leeway in the fight. That allows him to try a few different things. That allows him essentially, if he wants to go full steam ahead in the first few rounds and just throw the kitchen sink at Ward, that allows him to do that. Because what's really going to be coming back at him? Nothing that's going to significantly hurt him. I remember watching Andre Ward when he fought Edwin Rodriguez. And essentially that's what Rodriguez did. Rodriguez just emptied the kitchen sink. I mean, he wasn't good enough. He wasn't accurate enough to be able to make that work for him. But he was emptying the kitchen sink on Ward pretty much for the whole fight. And yeah, he got outboxed, but he never got seriously hurt. He never got dropped, I don't believe, in that fight. And that's just Edwin Rodriguez. So surely Kovalev can throw caution to the wind a little bit. He doesn't necessarily have to. If he's outboxing Andre Ward, if he's winning by boxing a bit conservatively, then cool. But if Ward gets into a rhythm early and he's being defensive and slick, Kovalev needs to jump on him. Hit him anywhere he can hit him, in the shoulder, in the body, just like he said he was going to do in the first fight, but he didn't do enough of. Hit him anywhere. Break something. That's what I want to see him do this time. I don't want to see Kovalev allow Ward to get into that defensive rhythm and then the inside stuff and all that kind of business. From Andre Ward's perspective, he needs to hope that Sergey Kovalev doesn't improve in the second fight. He learned a lot about him in the first fight in terms of the angles, the power, what Kovalev does, how he reacts on the inside, all that kind of stuff. If Kovalev is only at that level, or maybe worse in the rematch, then that's going to be good news for Andre Ward, obviously. He's going to need to do what he did in the first fight in terms of taking away the right hand. That's one thing he'll need to do very quickly and very early on in the fight, because he didn't manage to do that in the first fight until after, the second or third round. Then he took the right hand away. He's going to need to take the right hand away first and foremost in this fight, and then build upon taking the right hand away, just like he did in the first fight. Build upon taking that right hand away. And maybe he'll be able to get a victory again on the scorecards, but this time do it more decisively to the point where there isn't so much controversy. Let me know what you think about this rematch between Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev. Let me know what you think about the attitudes of both men. Do both guys have the right attitude in terms of being in the right place mentally to give themselves the best chance to win this fight? Or does one of these guys have the wrong kind of attitude, an attitude that's actually going to backfire on them? Or maybe you don't think their attitudes matter at all, and it's just who's the better fighter and who shows up on the night. Drop it all in the comment section below. It's happening. I'm out.